Hello guys and welcome to the Survivor 48 character rankings, and today we are going to be counting down all of the survivors from season 48. I am super excited. As you can see on the side, we have our usual brackets. We've got Gone But Forgotten, I'm writing their name down, Mediocre, My Alliance, Survivor GOAT, and iconic. The iconic status is reserved for one person and one person only. But before we get into this, I just want to say thank you guys for the support on the channel. Obviously, Survivor, I've been having some trouble with copyright, but hopefully you've been enjoying the content nonetheless. And all the videos should be up and available. So fingers crossed they will stay like that. Who knows though. So we're going to start with Stephanie, I think was her name. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain it was Stephanie. Sadly and Gone But Forgotten. And same with Kevin, to be honest. Like, these two, they were lovely, don't get me wrong. But they just were only in the episode for like 2 minutes. And same with Justin, to be fair. Like, I'm going to put all three of them in the same boat. They were gone in the first couple of episodes, but I just didn't really get to see much more from them. And it's a shame, but they played themselves. I mean, each of them were blindsided in different ways, and it was really interesting to watch that first initial section of the game. But these three, very sadly, they just didn't make the impact on the show that I would have liked them to have. But who knows, maybe they'll be back in the future, we don't know. Next up we have Thomas. Iconic. What an iconic guy. I mean, first and foremost, he gave us one of the best moments of the entire series. It was incredible. He got a hit in the face by Bianca. He was in a tribal council where he got blindsided, and it was incredible. I found him very witty, very entertaining. I thought he was going to make it a lot further in the game than he actually did. And that was my first sign that the editing on Survivor has gotten a lot more deceptive. Even if the winner edit can become quite clear halfway through the series, they can be very deceptive about how long people are going to be on this show, because sometimes it took me off guard and I did not know that he was going to go when he did. And same as Bianca, I really didn't expect Bianca to have gone then. I'm going to put Bianca more in mediocre though, because I liked Bianca, but I don't know, there was always something wrong with Bianca in terms of, like, she never seemed like she fit in anywhere. She had her alliance with Thomas, but then that kind of fell by the wayside and it was a little bit tricky to get that moving. And then he obviously got kicked off, and then she was just left on her own, and she tried her best. She tried to keep the fact that she didn't have a vote a secret. Then she told Cedric, and then Cedric turned the whole thing on her. So I feel like she just played a poor game as soon as Thomas left, which was only really one episode. And that's what got her sent home. I did like her, don't get me wrong, but if I'm looking at people that I want to see again on Survivor, Bianca's probably not one that I'm desperate to see back. She was lovely, don't get me wrong, but I'm not buzzing for her to come back or anything. Next up, we have Charity. Yeah, Charity sucks. Charity was just annoying at times. Like, I was really struggling with people being like, oh, Charity's annoying, and I was like, no, she's not, she's fine. And then there was just a couple of times where I was like, oh no, Charity is actually quite annoying. She can be very irritating. And I did feel like at times they were trying to get rid of her, and then they were just like, oh, let's just get rid of this more strategic person instead. I mean, the fact that at her very first tribal council she was voted off says everything, because the plan from the first episode had been, we're getting rid of Charity regardless. And the first time that she was eligible to be voted off, I'm fairly certain, she went home. So you know what? Fair and valid. I would have also got rid of her as well. So yeah, that was very funny indeed. But either way, it is what it is. I don't dislike her. I just think I would have personally voted her off the tribe. Next up, we have Say. Now, Say, she's going to my Survivor GOAT. She is an absolute icon, like an absolute icon. I really enjoyed her throughout the series. I found her very entertaining, very witty. I'm gutted that she went as early as she did. I wish that she would have made it at least to jury. But she made it to merge. She made it to that stupid split camp thing that led to her going home. I wish that her and Cedric were on the same team because I reckon it would have been a lot closer. But then again, it would have meant that a key player later on in the game got taken out early, and I don't know how I felt about that. But either way, say, you deserve to come back. You were very, very, very entertaining. I would love to see you on a future series soon. Who knows what they're going to do when we move into the 50s. We've already got Survivor 50 releasing the cast, and from the looks of it, it looks okay. And then beyond that, who knows? I hope they go back to themed series. I'm kind of not entirely sure how I feel about the lack of themes per series. I feel like it kind of makes them all seem very identical and without any kind of identity. But say, you were a Survivor GOAT, you were entertaining, you kept me on my toes, you kept other people on their toes, and even though every motherfucker on that tribe hated you, you still kept on kicking, and I appreciate that. Now, as for Cedric, I'm writing his name down. I could not stand this man. I could not. I tried. But bro was constantly not wanting to make decisions and then backstabbing people on the whim of it. When he tried to vote out Say twice and then decided to keep her, I was sitting there going, Cedric, what are we doing here? What are we actually doing? When he turned on Kevin, I was like, what are we doing here? And then when he turned on Bianca, I was like, hang on a second. How are we doing this? What's going on here? And then he kind of just like whimpered out towards the end and just kind of laid down and died. And I was like, oh, okay. Thanks for contributing to this series, I guess. I don't know. Cedric was so-so. Like, I didn't feel like he made a big impact on the show. I don't feel like he entertained me that much. He was kind of here, he was kind of there. He was kind of neither there nor anywhere. So, I don't know why I'm talking like Dr. Zeus. But we're going to move on. Next up, it's Chrissy. I liked Chrissy, to be fair. I'd put her above Thomas, I think. I did like Chrissy. I found her very entertaining. I found her no bullshit approach to tribal councils fascinating. Because even when she was getting voted out, she was like, yeah, I'm not just gonna let you man get away with it. I'm gonna try and fight. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do what I can. Obviously, I don't want you guys to win. And I was like, yeah, fair and valid, because we are playing a game in which social manipulation is crucial. We shouldn't just be voting out the easy targets because that's just how it's meant to go and we want the strongest to fight the strongest. That's boring. Nobody wants to do that. She was a producer and she knew what she was doing in this game. She knew what she was doing. There were so many moments where I was like, do I like Chrissy? Do I not like Chrissy? But equally, when she left, I was sad. I was gutted. I was like, rah, we've lost something here. Fortunately, she made it to jury, so it wasn't the end of the world. But either way, I did just think, should we have gotten rid of her? Would have been interested to see what she could have done in the later part of this game. So, next up, we have David. Okay. So, David, in the first half of his time on the show, Survivor GOAT. This man, so entertaining. So unbelievably entertaining. Him constantly talking about milk. I was like, yeah, okay, I can see it. Then, halfway through, he switched. He became the villain. I would have voted him out. 3 of those tribal councils in a row, I would have voted his ass out of there. I would have been writing his name down. He started to really wind me up. I think at this point, because I was so firmly on the I want Kyle or Camila to win, and he was upping them. Listen, you come for Camila, you come for me. And so I'm putting you down there, mate. I did find him very entertaining, though, and I did really enjoy him. I think I'm writing their name down is less of a comment on how I found them and more sort of like, if I was in that game, would I have wanted them out of this game? And for Cedric and Charity, yeah, it's because I didn't like them. But with David, he was being too paranoid. He was fucking me off with the ideas he was coming up with. And he just was just too much all the time. And the milk chat would have pissed me off as well. Shut up about milk. Please, please. But he did redeem himself in the final episode where he told a knock knock joke and then was like, oh, thank God I can drop this scowling. God, I really thought he was being genuine, but apparently not. And that's fine by me. I found him entertaining, like I said, but I'm putting him down there because you fucked me off too much and you tried to come for Camila. So I'm not having it. Next up, we have Star. Oh, Star. I'm going to put you at the end of... Oh, no, I'll put you above Thomas because you did have more time. Star was one of these people that never really made any moves, then was trying to make moves, but no one wanted to make moves with her. And I just sat there and I was like, I cannot understand how you made it this far in the game. I really can't. I would love to understand, but I just don't because no one rates you and no one wants you to be here. And everyone slags you off behind your back. And it is really sad, actually. It is. But equally, she was so funny. She was so unbelievably funny. There were so many moments in the first couple of episodes where I was like, I don't really get her vibe. But the more we saw her, when she started going to tribal council, she started just spitting game. That little rap segment that she did was hysterical. She's actually a very, very funny person. And I just don't think the editors knew what to include from her because she was never part of any big plans. And she was never making any big plans. So when it came to her exit episode, they kind of made it very obvious that she was the one to go because they started showing a lot more of her. And that was when we got to see so much more of her personality. So, you know what? Icon, but sadly not iconic or Survivor GOAT. But Mary... Again, Mary is a tale of two halves. The first half of the game, I found her so entertaining. Then she dipped in the middle, and then she came back for about 3 episodes and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to try and make some big moves, but never actually did. I think I wouldn't quite put her in Survivor GOAT because there were just many episodes in a row where I was like, oh, okay, we're just not getting to see a lot from Mary. Mary's kind of sitting quietly back. She's chilling. As soon as they did the tribe swap in like episode 4, we didn't really get to see a lot of her for the next couple of episodes until the merge. Whereas like Say was a main character all the way through her time on the show. So it felt like she made more of an impact. Mary, I loved you. I thought you were very entertaining. I thought you were very funny. I thought there were many moments on the show where I rated you. Like when you just laid down and conned Say and Cedric into thinking that you had the idol when actually you were just planning on playing your lucky chance thing. I can't remember what it's called. The scroll. You know what I mean. You shot in the dark. That's the word I was looking for. So many great moments. A great player. So I'm going to put you in my alliance. However... the next person, Xiaoheen. I would be hard pressed not to put him into Survivor Go. I'd put him above, Say. I feel like Xiaoheen is another person that when I first started watching the show, I was like, I don't get this guy's vibe. And he's constantly talking about how good of a game he's playing. But I'm not seeing this game. But actually... the more they explained it at the final tribal council and the more they explained why they had to get rid of Xiaoheen, the more I was like, this man actually played a better game than I thought he was. And I think it's because I was so focused on Kyle and Camila. He was friendly with everybody. Everybody liked him. And that was a big issue. He played the game stupendously. He was very funny in his confessionals. He had great moments in the TV show, like when he won his first challenge, when he was fighting against the other people to win a challenge. There was so many moments, like when he was in the challenge and he just started randomly going, ooga ah, and just like giving the background music to the challenge. Honestly, again, I love the fact that they're aware that this is a TV show and they're trying to make good content. And I felt like Xiaoheen definitely did deliver some good content. And that's what made me like him even more. Because he was very funny. He was energetic. He was exciting. And he gave us something that I don't think I've seen on Survivor before. Yeah. But then again, he could be just very similar to other people that I've not seen yet. So, who knows. Next up, we have Mitch. Mitch was the biggest letdown of the entire series. And it's so sad. It's so unbelievably sad because all I wanted to do was like Mitch. And don't get me wrong, lovely guy. Shit at the game. I don't think he made a single move. And every single time other people wanted to make a move that involved him, that would have got him further in the game, he was like, oh, I don't think I should do that. Oh, I don't like that person, so I'm not going to do that. And then he went out 5th. And he wondered why everybody was like, we're voting out you. We're getting rid of you. It's because you didn't make any moves that make people want you to stay around. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was tough and rough. It was tough and rough with Mitch. I just feel like he did not do anything, and that was so jarring. I just wish that he would have actually participated a little bit more in some of the big plans, rather than just going with what the group wanted to do, and then being upset when the group was like, we've got no use for you now. Soz, bye-bye. So up next we have Camila. Camila, she's my iconic pick. She is my iconic pick. Unfortunately, we have lost the Gone But Forgotten people, which is kind of ironic. But Camila, you were my favourite person of the entire series. You represent such a unique group of individuals. In fact, not even a unique group of individuals. You represent the majority of people watching Survivor. The ones who want to do it because they have a love for the game, but everybody thinks is going to be shit at the game. She said so many times, my family were like, don't even bother trying in the immunity challenges because you're not going to win. She won 2. She won 2 immunity challenges, which is the same number as Kyle, I'm fairly certain. I'm fairly certain Kyle only won 2 immunities as well. She slayed the game. Not only that, but her strategic game is one of the best I've seen on Survivor. Again, please do not come for me in the comment section. I have only seen seasons 1 to 10. I'm working my way through 11 and I've seen 48. But she is one of the best strategical minds I've seen on this show. The way that her and Kyle were manipulating everybody without them even realizing it and making them believe that it was their own ideas when it was actually Kyle and Camila planting seeds in their brain. It's masterful gameplay. It's exactly what I came all the way to season 48 to watch, and she delivered that magnificently. She's such a genuine person that I really loved watching her confessionals. I loved learning about her. I felt so joyous when she won things because I was like, yes. Because, again, I'm the kind of person that would go on this show and I'd suck. But I would hope that at least that would inspire me to go and do it myself. Because if Camila can do it, who says I can't? That's the kind of thing that it makes you feel. But yeah, what a fantastic player. I'm worried for her on Survivor 50, especially if people clock her and they're like, "Ooh, you're a little devious one, aren't you? You're quite good with the strategy." Yeah, I'm concerned for her, I can't lie. She should have made top 3 if it wasn't for the stupid fire-making bullshit. But you know what? It is what it is. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. I'm happy. I enjoyed it. She was amazing. Let's move on. Next up, we have Joe. I mean, I'll put Joe in Survivor GOAT. He was great. He was very entertaining. In fact, I'm going to put the rest of them in Survivor GOAT. I'm not even going to bother wasting our time by not putting them. I'm going to put Eva after, and I'm going to put Kyle at the top. Joe, why was he more iconic and more of a Survivor GOAT than Eva? He just won more challenges. And he proved that he was a threat, a physical threat. And still nobody wanted to get rid of him. He's the kind of person that I think Kyle noticed, I can win against this guy because he actually hasn't done anything. And same with Eva. Eva was spectacular in terms of social game, which is so ironic because she came into the game and the first thing she was like is, I'm autistic, I'm not going to be able to have a good social game. And she ends up having the best social game in the entire show. Nobody wanted to get rid of her. Nobody disliked her. Everybody wanted to keep her around somewhat, unless there was like oh, should we get rid of Eva? Maybe not. It was impressive. And so I have to put those two up in Survivor GOATs because they did represent such unique individual I guess is the word I'm looking for. Their friendship and their sort of like duo ship throughout the entire show was spectacular. The fact that they were so vocally a duo, and it was always, I've got to check with Eva, I've got to check with Joe whenever plans were made. The fact that they made top 2 is more of a credit to Kyle, I feel like, than it is to them, because I think Kyle obviously was like, yo, these two are a duo, they've had the same game, surely I stand out in a final 3 with them. Which is why Kyle and Camila were like, now we can't be in the same room at the same time on Tribal Council. Honestly, these two played such strong games. They played very, very well. They were worthy finalists. I don't think I disliked them in the slightest, even though I was rooting for their downfall most of the time. But once I saw the vision of like, oh, Kyle can win against these two, yeah, it was over. I was supporting them getting to the final, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what, we can get rid of Mitch now. Fine, whatever. And then we come down to Kyle, who is such a likable person. He's so genuine. He's so lovely. He's gone through so much in life, and he just exemplifies everything that you want to be as a person. He's turned his life around. He's come on Survivor. He's played both a physically strong and mentally strong game out here, and he made sure he was in the right place at the right time. Playing the middle seems to be the best way to play this game, and he exemplified that. I did not dislike him. I think even from the start, when I saw him and he like failed the first challenge, I was like, oh, this dickhead, what's he doing? What is he doing here? What are we actually doing here? But I grew to love him. He made me just sort of so happy to watch him play all of these moves with Camila. It was just such a good season, guys. It was so good. And the fact that the bulk of the characters are in, like, the top half, that just proves how much I liked this series. But that is all we've got time for today, very, very sadly. And that is all we have for this video. So, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. And I will see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. But until then, keep on ranting, and go watch my Guatemala videos. Enjoy them. Savor them. Who knows when the next one's going to come out. No, I'm joking. But anyway, see you guys later. Bye now.